Hi there, I'm Tiffany Rulius from the Ghana Revenue Authority. This week we focus on how many alcohol licenses are issued by the GRA, who needs a trade license, and when you are required to apply for an occasional liquor license. Focus on GRA begins now.
Have you ever received a phone call from someone sounding like this?
Before we grant you access to come in to uplift your cash along with the keys to this brand new vehicle, you'll need to get the tax and VAT cleared. What you'll have to do, you'll need to let me know if you think you are available having $250 to get your tax and VAT cleared.
Tax advance?
Or maybe you were approached by a stranger who offered to help you with a transaction at the GRA for a small fee, of course.
Don't worry about that, no. Just give me the documents, the 20,000, and I can get you compliance.
Well, if ever you encountered one or both of these two situations and you gave in, then you were the victim of a fraudster. Here's what to do if you suspect that someone is trying to scam you in the name of the GRA. Firstly, all payments must be made to the GRA's cashier. And please note, an official receipt will be accompanied by all payments. It therefore means that no one should collect money from you on behalf of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Alternatively, taxpayers can utilize GRA's online digital payment options at banking institutions such as GBTI Republic Bank and Demerara Bank, or GTT's mobile money. That's right, payment with just a click of a button.
Done.
If you encounter a scammer or you suspect a scam, then you should request the name and ID of the person posing as a GRA representative, since all staff of the GRA are required to carry identification cards while executing their duties. Report suspected scammers or imposters to the GRA's Special Investigation Unit by calling its hotline 225-5051, or you can send an email to siu@gra.gov.gy. In its capacity as a supervising authority under the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering the Financing of Terrorism Act, the Ghana Revenue Authority presents to you this factoid. Money laundering. Money laundering is the processing of criminal proceeds to disguise or conceal their criminal origin. Simply put, it's the process by which criminals make dirty money obtained from their criminal activities look legitimate or clean.
Welcome to Focus on GRA, a program of information for taxpayer education. The GRA issues 8 kinds of liquor licenses. Manager of Tax Operations and Services, Yunola Ned, explains what these are and what documents you will need when applying for these licenses. One of the more commonly issued liquor licenses is the second-class off-liquor license. These are typically issued to owners of shops, grocery stores, and supermarkets.
A second class of liquor license, which shall authorize the holder thereof within the limits specified to keep and sell on the licensed premises spirituous liquor, wine, and malt liquor. However, these liquor cannot be consumed on the premises. Additionally, the license holder is not authorized to mix or blend such spirituous liquor on the premises.
Then there is the first-class off-liquor license, which is typically issued to businesses that manufacture alcohol,
which authorizes the holder to store in bulk, mix, and blend spirituous liquor in the licensed premises.
The nature of your business will determine the type of liquor license you will need to obtain from the GRA. For instance, restaurateurs will need a restaurant liquor license.
Authorizes the sale of spirituous liquor, malt, and wine to be consumed with a meal on the licensed premises.
Other liquor licenses issued by the GRA include
malt and wine license authorizes the sale in any licensed premises, the sale of malt liquor or wine which does not exceed or contain more than 3% of alcohol, whether to be consumed on the premises or not. Hotel license authorizes the sale of malt, wine, and liquor and spirituous liquor to be consumed on the licensed premises. Spirituous license authorizes the sale in the licensed premises in any quantities of wine, malt, and spirituous liquor except rum, whether to be consumed on the premises or not, exceeding 2 liters. Members Club license authorizes the supply and sale of spirituous liquor, malt, and wine to members, visitors, and to be consumed on the licensed premises. Occasional liquor license and tobacco license authorizes the sale for consumption on any premises stated in the license of wine, spirituous liquor, malt, liquor, and tobacco for such a period as stated in the license, not exceeding 12 hours.
When applying for any of these liquor licenses, you must complete 2 copies of the relevant liquor license application form and have a valid ID. In addition to these, you must provide the following documents for all but the occasional liquor license.
An approved plan of the premises, which must be stamped and signed by the Central Housing and Planning Authority, the Neighborhood Democratic Council, or the Mayor and Town Council, or Regional Democratic Council, the Guyana Fire Service, and Sanitary Department. A copy of the transport or a tenancy agreement if premises is leased or rented, and an affidavit of consent from the owner of the property. A fire certificate from the Guyana Fire Service, updated business registration or Companies Act, sanitary certificate from the Mayor and City Council or Neighborhood Democratic Council.
In some cases, you may also need a letter of approval from a Chushao. If you are applying for the second class off-liquor, restaurant, hotel, spirit shop, or members club liquor licenses, you will also need a recent police clearance. If you wish to apply for a members club license, you also need to provide the Commissioner General with 21 days notice of intent to apply for said license. The cost of a liquor license is dependent on the type of license being applied for and the area in which the business is located. In addition to the liquor license, you must also be the holder of a trade license.
It must be noted that the following licenses are approved by the Liquor License Board: the Liquor Restaurant License, Hotel License, Members Club.
There are 3 district licensing boards for the counties of Demerara, Berbice, and Essequibo. The boards meet quarterly to consider new and transfers of liquor licenses. You must be the holder of a trade license when making an application for certain types of liquor licenses, such as the malt and wine and off-liquor licenses. Supervisor of License Revenue Operations Ryan Mahadio explains who needs to apply for this license and how.
Who needs a trade license and what is a trade license? It's every person who occupies a store, a shop, a yard space, a shed, or anything close to that would need to take out an annual trade license.
Ryan Mahadio, supervisor with responsibility for trade and miscellaneous license, explains the requirements when applying for a trade license.
The requirements are a complete application form, a valid form of ID. You would need the approval billing plan from the Ministry of Housing, the Central Housing Department, along with the stamp and sign from your RDC, NDC in the area, sanitary, and the Guyana Fire Service. You would also require your fire certificate and your sanitary certificate for the trade license. For persons who are applying for a trade license with land that is controlled by Amerindians, you would need the approval from the Tushao of that area.
Mahadio notes that depending on goods, wares, merchandise, or provisions being traded at your place of business, you may need to present additional documents to support your application. For instance, persons trading pharmaceuticals or over-the-counter drugs.
You would need your drug certificate from the Poison Control Board, which is a department of the Ministry of Health. If you are selling prescription drugs, you would need a licensed pharmacist on call, and also you would have to provide us with a copy of that person's certificate.
If your trade is food, you must also provide your food handler certificate when applying for a trade license. Mahadio notes that the cost of a trade license is dependent on the square foot of your business.
Once you bring your application to us, you would show us a designated square footage and we would input it in the system and it would generate a cost for you.
The trade license is valid for 1 year and expires on December 31. If you applied for your license during the course of the year, then it will be valid for the remainder of the year until December 31.
Persons who are hosting an event and wish to sell alcohol at that event are required to apply for an occasional liquor license. Ms. Neds joins us once again to explain more.
An occasional liquor license authorizes the sale of wine, spirituous liquor, and malt liquor on any premises. The alcohol can be consumed on the premises, however, the license is only valid for 12 consecutive hours. Supervisor of Tax Operations and Services Yolanda Ned explains what documents you will need when applying for an occasional liquor license.
The requirements for this license are permission from the Guyana Police Force, a valid form of identification, can be your passport, national ID, or plastic card driver's license, letter of clearance from the Central Registration Unit of the Guyana Revenue Authority.
To apply for a letter of clearance, the applicant must submit a letter to that department indicating what is the event, where the event is being held, and the date of the event. Supervisor with responsibility for trade and miscellaneous licenses, Ryan Mahadio, notes a letter of clearance is free of charge, but
they should ensure, and as we are champions for this right now, to ensure that their tax returns are filed up to date as well.
Once you have obtained a letter of clearance, you can continue the processing of your occasional liquor license.
Procedure for obtaining this license. Once all the requirements are submitted, the counter clerk will peruse the documents for accuracy, consistency. The application will be processed immediately. The cost for the license is $1,775.
An occasional liquor license is only valid for the event it was applied for. Additionally, this license shall not be issued to the holder of any other license for the sale of intoxicating liquor. Applications for an occasional liquor license can be made at the GRA's headquarters on Camp Street or any of its 8 integrated regional tax offices countrywide.
And that is all for this week's Focus on GRA. For more information on applying for a liquor license, you can visit our website, gra.gov.gy. You can also send us your inquiries via email, grapublicrelations@gmail.com or taxadvisory@gra.gov.gy. And follow us on our social media pages for up-to-date tax-related information. Thank you for watching. I'm Tiffany Rodias. Until next time.